Hello and welcome to Take Back Time. My name is Penny Zenker and I'm your host. And I am super excited to share with you today about delegation. We're going to talk about that ugly word, delegation. And I say ugly because it's one of those things that we love to hate. We resist because we feel like maybe we're losing control of something. And the actual opposite is true. So it's one of those paradoxical type of things. And so with that, I want to introduce today's guest because we look for people who are really going to help you to work smarter. And Brett Trembly's here with us today. He says, part recovering lawyer and part actual lawyer. He's in the South Florida legal community. He's a former president of the South Miami Kendall Bar Association and former vice chair of the Florida Bar 11th Circuit Grievance Committee, right? There's a lot of information behind that, right? And he volunteers in supporting those in the community. And he's been also named a Super Lawyers Rising Star in Florida in the past 3 years. And really what I'd like to do is Brett will tell you more about himself as we introduce him. So Brett, welcome to the show.
Penny, thank you so much for having me. I love your name, by the way.
Thank you. What sticks out for you about my name? It's funny. I've heard that a couple of times.
So I read one time that a street named Penny Lane, there's not just one anymore, right? Is like the homes on that street are 30% more valuable. So I'm like, I need to go to my city council and have my street renamed Penny Lane, So like you can have multiple Penny Lanes in any state, all throughout. So I think that's a kind of a cool thing. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's funny because sometimes people have said to me, Penny Zenker sounds like a reporter or something, like something famous. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So what about Brett Trembly? What does that mean? Do people get 30% more for their money when they hire you as a lawyer, or what's
more than that, right? Look, let's talk about delegation though. And yes, most of I'm a lawyer. I have a 10 attorney business and litigation law firm. We hit the Inc. 5000. So I just felt like credibility wise, I'm not just like a lawyer that couldn't make it. We still have a very successful law firm in Miami. But this business is focused on helping lawyers who used to be where I was, trying to do everything myself, and I couldn't get out of my own way, and I couldn't hire someone because I told myself I didn't have the money, but I didn't have the money because I didn't hire someone. So it's a paradox, And
right? It's that catch-22. Why is it? And then we'll weave back in more about your what you're doing there. But why is it that is the case, is that people feel that way? Why is it that you felt that you didn't have the money, and at the same time you wouldn't get the money until you freed yourself up? Like, what's going on in our psyche that creates that?
That's what it is. It's in our psyche. I had to do a lot. I should have done therapy. I didn't. I had to do a lot of reading and soul searching and hiring and getting coaching. Think and Grow Rich really changed me, but I was afraid of failure. So I thought if I hired someone and had to fire them because I couldn't pay them, that like the whole world was going to laugh at me. And then I realized that the whole world's too busy doing their own thing to give two whats about Brett Trembly and what he's doing. And you kind of have to get over yourself and your ego, but it's not that easy. And I don't understand why I was this way. So I'm not judging, but still you look someone dead in the face and like, I was there. You cannot grow until you delegate 80% of the things. Just start with 3 things. Just start with your email, for God's sake, because you will spend more time on the things that actually make you money. And so even if it increases your income a little bit, in my case, it was double. So I was billing about 1 hour per day, and then it was 2. Talk about rocket science, doubling your firm in the first month. That was what I did when I hired my first person. And you can explain to someone logically, walk them through the steps, but their subconscious takes over and their fears, and they just we're so emotionally, I was at least so emotionally tied to the money that I didn't have, that I just couldn't grasp the idea of I barely can pay all my bills now. How the heck am I going to hire someone?
Right. So how'd you get over it?
I finally, somebody got through to me, and
Sledgehammer?
Yes. a little bit. And I got a little bit lucky. A law student at the time who was like introduced to a friend, and she was willing to work for like a stipend per week. So I was barely, paying like 250 a week for like 30 hours. And she is now a lawyer, and thank God she came into my life. This was back in 2014, and it was just, man, I just had, I was that person. I couldn't figure out that I would always be where I was. And we all know plenty of business owners who've never grown over the years because they can't, learn that lesson. And again,
Right.
not judging, but it's just a hard thing to emotionally get over.
Absolutely. I think there's an important point there, though, that you said, like, there was a student, right? It doesn't always have, there's so many opportunities. We've got people overseas now that are available to us. We've got interns that want the experience. So it's, and of course, there's different levels of experience and different levels of support that people might need.
Yeah.
But they're out there, right? There's even like a barter system. There's a whole community of bartering. So there are opportunities, and I think we shut them down, but there are low cost opportunities to at least get started with something.
And that's the key, just get started. Because for me, it was getting rid of answering my phones, sending my own faxes. Again, this is a while back. You know, trying to schedule all my appointments, all of the administrative things. Once I got rid of those, it freed up a few hours per day, and I capitalized on it. And look, I'll give myself credit at that point. Even though she left after the summer, I listened to my own success. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to repeat this, because some people, they'll hit them in the face and then they'll still fall back to their old ways, right? And
Right.
I don't know how to explain that sort of psychological phenomenon. Maybe we do, but we all fall back on our old ways, even though we learn something new and it kind of blows our mind. So I just kept hiring and making more revenue. Hiring, okay, now I can keep going, and took that model, and now that's part of what we do at Get Staffed Up. So we help, as we say, help lawyers delegate their way to freedom, but we have a lot of non-lawyer clients.
Awesome. Well, that's the key, is getting started, even if it's just with a few small things.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the common mistakes that people make when okay, I've decided to delegate. Okay, you've convinced me. I'll start with some small things. What do you think is important for them to know to see success?
One frustrating thing is when you make a hire and then that person doesn't work out. And so then you basically just say, oh, I've tried it and it doesn't work. Those darn millennials. It's like, and by the way, I'm on the upper end of the millennial generation, but I fall in that category. It's like, well, you know, you maybe you hired the wrong person. Maybe you didn't onboard them correctly. That's a mistake. Maybe you didn't train them enough. Maybe you didn't follow up. Maybe you didn't actually give them 5 repeatable tasks that you just kept on a scorecard and let them get really good at those and gave them feedback so that the employee knew if they were doing good. Employees want to know that they're doing a good job, because it's very stressful to constantly wonder if you're going to get fired because you have no idea if the boss is happy with you or not. That's
Right.
a stressful environment to live in. So those are a lot of the mistakes that people make, and they just have to learn, the right way to onboard and train.
Absolutely. So it's the onboarding. So what are some of what are 2 or 3 tips when you're onboarding somebody that you do it right the first time?
Don't throw the kitchen sink at them. Give them a few things. 2 days later, check in and give feedback. Okay, this is how you improve. This is here. If you're answering the phone for, let's say you hire a receptionist, because phones are really crucial for all businesses. And yeah, there's outsourcing your phones, but at a certain point that becomes dangerous too. So you need to give them a script. You need to listen. You need to give them feedback. You can't just bring someone on and ignore them for 3 weeks. You
Right.
really,
I call it dumping. It's not delegating, right? It's just
uh,
dumping.
yeah,
It doesn't work.
yeah. And then the feedback and the improvement, and then feedback on the improvement, and put things in writing. The end of the week scorecard is the best, easiest tool. So, okay, I sent 10 emails this week. I answered the phone. I didn't miss a call. I did 15 follow-up calls. I didn't let you miss any emails. Like maybe just you get one admin assistant who's going to just do a lot of things for you. And if someone's checking off all those boxes at the end of the week because it's a scorecard that you've developed because you've decided that's what will help you at the time, they know they're doing well. And you know that they're doing well because out of sight, out of mind is a tough thing. When you have no idea if someone is getting work done or performing, then you're like, well, why am I keeping this person? I really don't know. And it's too stressful to constantly ask. And you need a system for getting that feedback.
Right. Like it. System for feedback. So, what else have you found that helps to make delegation successful?
A mindset. Like for example, if you get rid of the things that cause you stress or anxiety or take up most of your headspace, then you'll be happier delegating. And you also have to kind of like the person you're delegating to. Like some of us will have that assistant, you're like, ugh, I'd rather not talk to them because I'm gonna have to over explain it. So I'll just do it myself.
Right.
There's a lot of really, really good people in this world that will do a great job for you, and sometimes not. And everyone has different skill sets. So, um, I would say make a list. This is one thing we talk to people about. Get a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle, two columns. Left column, everything you love doing. Right column, everything you hate doing, or doesn't make you money, you don't enjoy, whatever. The right column, everything you don't enjoy, those are the things you delegate first, and it will then provide you that mental, how liberating it is to be able to delegate a bunch of things. Like, I don't want to do those three things, but they're going to get done because my business needs them. It is incredibly liberating, which then pays dividends with your energy.
Absolutely. The way that I build up my energy for the day is one of the things that I love doing in my morning routine is delegating something.
Hmm.
Right? If I start the day delegating something, I know that I'm going to get twice the amount of work done because someone's going to do that.
Yeah.
So,
That's
people talk about morning routines and what to do and what not to do. That's something that I really appreciate.
what what's your morning routine, Penny?
Well, my morning routine involves, I believe that there's some things that you shouldn't do. So one of the things that I make sure that I'm conscious of not doing is I don't check my phone, I don't check my email,
Right.
and I make sure that I'm not starting my day reactive. So my proactive start is about typically exercise. I want to go down and work out in my basement and get my heart pumping, do some stretching. I also have a gratitude journal,
Hmm.
and I write in my gratitude journal every day. That's the way I like to start the day, with that type of energy, because it's not just it's not just what we do. I believe it's also how we show up and how we do it, right? Because you can have something that takes you forever because you hate it, and you come into that mindset, like you said, with it's just is like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
But if you change the way you looked at it and you could see what you could be grateful for about it, or already see it done, or just shift that mindset, it's going to go a lot easier. So that helps me to boost my day. So that's one of the
Yeah.
things that I do too.
That's great. I really love talking to people about their morning routines. Arguably, this new business, Get Staffed Up, wouldn't be around without a book called The Miracle Morning, because myself and my now business partner, we both read the book and we started for years comparing and sharing and kind of growing together that way. So anyway, I'm a huge advocate of the morning routine,
Oh, awesome. So tell
whatever
me
it may
about
be.
yours.
Yeah, whatever it may be. So mine has six things. Silence is meditation, affirmations, and not like staring in the mirror and saying I'm smart, I'm beautiful, and those things. It's like all your goals for the year as if they've already been accomplished and you're at the end of the year, kind of a look back.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Vision board, huge believer in vision boards. Speaking of exercise, I have a podium at a triathlon on my vision board because that's one of my goals this year.
Cool.
Exercise, reading, and scribing. So journaling. I don't have a great memory, and yet when I go back and I read in my journal, even from years ago, just all these memories come flooding back. And so every day I don't write in my journal, I feel like I lost that day forever. Like,
Mm,
kind of like a scary thing for me. So I really enjoy writing down every morning what I did the day before. Just quick little things in our
yeah.
life. It's kind of neat for me.
My daughter started to do that because she also felt like she couldn't remember things. And it helps, it helps you to bring out those things that are most memorable, even if it's like an everyday thing, but it made an impression on you.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. I like that. So my journaling is through the gratitude journal. So I'm
Right.
journaling about a couple things that I'm grateful for that happened the day before,
Yeah, of
things like that. So so in a way, it's also documenting the previous
course.
day.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's great. Well, do you have any other practices that you want to share that help you, like your morning routine, that help you to be most productive throughout the day?
Y- Well, I mean, I kind of already mentioned it with the two lists and the columns, but the more that you grow in business or in life, things will just like start your plate. If you delegate, it'll start filling back up again with new things. That because a new level brings a new devil, and so now my time is on this new thing that I'm doing. So
I like that.
like the highest performers every quarter will delegate 80% of the things they're doing so that they can focus on the 20 which make them most happy or save them the most time or make them the most
Right.
money.
I love that. The new level brings the new devil. That is so true. We want to get to that next level, and then there's always the challenges that come along with that.
Yeah,
Quality challenges, right?
yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is some really great stuff. So, two last questions for you, and then we'll bring it to a close and have you let people know where they can reach you. So, how do you define productivity and why?
You, as you said, being proactive with your day, being reactive really throws you off. And so many people in this world just respond to their email all day long. And now you're just in constant response mode. So it's not just being busy. Are you on the hamster wheel, right? Because we can all get on the hamster wheel and just run real hard and feel real accomplished. But where are you headed? So it would be accomplishing tasks that move you closer to your stated goal.
Awesome. And lastly, do you have, like, if they were to take all the apps off of your phone and your computer outside of email and calendar, what would be the first thing that you'd add back?
Um, Probably my bank accounts, Penny. I think that's pretty dangerous.
Checking your
Not
bank account every day, it's helping you be more productive.
No, it's just it's a safety thing, right? If you don't like in the new digital world, it's very easy to have theft. And I think if you're not monitoring those things, that would make me nervous. But in terms of productivity, it would be my notes. And some people use a lot of there's a lot of different note taking things, but I guess if you have Macs and an iPhone, your notes sync across all of your devices, and it's just so convenient.
Awesome. So you use your notes a lot.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share with the audience before we close up?
No, I think that delegating your way to freedom is it's our catchphrase, but it's really about the fact that you know you, you're put on this earth for a reason, and you can't get to that fulfilling thing you want to do, or the event, or the business, if you're just trying to do everything yourself. It's not possible.
Very true. Well, thank you so much for all of those nuggets that you shared. And so tell people where they can reach you.
Sure. Getstaffedup.com. It's very simple. That's it. And just for your listeners, Penny, if you do getstaffedup.com/VIP and just pop in their name, number, email, and then where you heard about us. If you aren't interested in our services and you sign up, you'll get a nice little discount if you say Penny Zenker, or just
Or
name the
Penny Lane.
podcast. Yeah, or Penny Lane, or Brett was terrible on the podcast, but I'm interested anyway. So
Stop. All right. Well, that's great. Thank you so much. And you guys, for all you listeners, take advantage of this. I mean, the fact is just start with a couple of things that you can let go of, that you can have someone do, and you'll see that it gets easier. And then you can find the next thing and the next thing. It is truly, truly freeing. And, some of the great things that we heard today is, when you do decide to delegate, it's about doing it effectively and efficiently and getting that onboarding process, making sure that you're finding the person that's a good fit for you, and making sure you don't give them too much at once, and that you have a system to record that feedback. Those are a couple of tips that we got from today that are going to help you to delegate more efficiently and effectively. So my name is Penny Zenker, and this is Take Back Time. We'll see you in the next episode.